Make Amazon Pay global demands. The Make Amazon Pay Coalition has released a set of common demands that workers and their allies are placing on the company and the governments of the countries it operates in around the globe. Individuals and organizations can support the coalition by adding their name to the demands, directly telling Jeff Bezos to #Make Amazon Pay. Asad Rehman, Executive Director of War on Want and Council Member of Progressive International, said, "Amazon's unchecked growth is a threat to everyone's rights. There is a litany of abuses associated with Amazon business practices, from harassment of workers to unsafe conditions in its warehouses that stretch right through to its tax affairs. Unless our politicians step up, this company that fails to pay its fair share of tax and fails to treat its workers with respect or pay a living wage will continue to grow and dominate the global economy in the 21st century. It's not the future that workers or the public want." Workers and communities are coming together, taking action across the world to demand that this engine of inequality changes its ways. Global demands. Amazon is one of the most powerful corporations on the planet, headed by the world's richest person, CEO Jeff Bezos. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Amazon became a $1 trillion corporation, with Bezos becoming the first person in history to amass $200 billion in personal wealth. Meanwhile, Amazon warehouse workers risked their lives as essential workers and only briefly received an increase in pay. As Amazon's corporate empire expands, so too has its carbon footprint, which is larger than 2/3 of all countries in the world. Amazon's growing delivery and cloud computer businesses are accelerating global climate breakdown. Amazon is not alone in these bad practices, but it sits at the heart of a failed system that drives the inequality, climate breakdown, and democratic decay that scar our age. There are workers, activists, and citizens from across the globe joining together to make Amazon pay its workers fairly for its impact on the environment and its taxes. We demand Amazon change its policies and governments change their laws too. Improve the workplace by raising workers' pay in all Amazon warehouses, in line with the increasing wealth of the corporation, including hazard pay and premium pay for peak times, negotiating adequate break time to ensure safe work, suspending the harsh productivity and surveillance regime Amazon has used to squeeze workers, which violates their rights and jeopardizes their safety, extending paid sick leave to all Amazon workers, so that no worker has to choose between their health or their job, allowing workers in sites without workplaces representation to independently elect health and safety commissions, which negotiate with Amazon to ensure a safe pace of work to avoid repeated injury, disclosing the corporation's protocol for tracking and reporting COVID-19 cases, as well updated lists cases of infection and death among all workers in Amazon warehouses by facility, provide job security to all by ending all forms of casual employment and bogus self-employment or contractor status, establishing decent, transparent procedures through which workers can voice concerns and criticisms without fear of punishment, reinstating immediately all workers fired for speaking up about issues concerning the health and safety of Amazon workers and customers, engaging in efforts to organize fellow workers, or due to selective enforcement of internal policies, respect workers' universal rights by ending union busting, respecting workers' right to organize, and unions' rights to promote workers' interests, and immediately stop all forms of spying on workers and organizers, giving unions access to Amazon work sites to inform workers on the benefits of unionization, so that all workers can freely choose whether to join a union without any fear of retaliation. Bargaining with unions wherever they are present in order to reach collective agreements on the conditions and terms of workers' employment at Amazon. Ensuring workers' rights throughout Amazon's supply chains globally. Sharing power with workers, for instance, by welcoming worker representatives elected by their colleagues in different management levels, and by increasing options for workers to receive not only shares in the corporation, but also voting rights, so that the company moves towards a model of democratic governance. Operate sustainably by committing to zero emissions by 2030, Ending all custom Amazon Web Services contracts for fossil fuel companies to accelerate oil and gas extraction. Ending Amazon's complicity in environmental racism, including by transitioning to electric vehicles first in communities most impacted by the corporation's pollution. Stopping all sponsoring of climate change denial. Engaging workers who have a right to know how their employer will operate sustainably through a just transition process. Pay back to society by paying taxes in full in the countries where the real economic activity takes place, ending tax abuse through profit-shifting loopholes and the use of tax havens and providing full tax transparency, ending partnerships with police forces and immigration authorities that are institutionally racist, ceasing anti-competitive business practices that lead to monopolization, guaranteeing transparency over the privacy and use of consumers' data, including Alexa Echo devices, streaming and cloud services, guaranteeing privacy and confidentiality of all Internet of Things applications and software produced by or sold via Amazon, including Alexa Echo devices, streaming and cloud services, stopping the development, deployment and sale of devices and software that expand mass surveillance practices, such as Amazon Ring and facial recognition biometric software such as Rekognition.